Hi, I'm Jasmine, and this is my research topic presentation for EDU 692. The general topic area that my research is based in is the idea that I believe that Black students need to have the experience of being taught by a Black teacher, especially in those adolescent years of life where they're developing their identity, who they are, who the people around them are, and discovering what they can become in life. And I think it's important for them to have a solid example of, someone who looks like them. Some general guiding questions that I keep in the back of my mind as I'm doing my research are: do Black students reach greater success when their teachers are Black? What do Black teachers do that teachers of other races don't to create a healthy classroom? How can Black teachers be valued in the education profession? And how can Black culture be valued and incorporated in the classroom? Some key research findings that I've come across so far. The first one revolves around the case of Brown versus Board of Education, which we know was to integrate schools and give students of all races the opportunity for a quality education. But what I've discovered is that this case has had a negative impact on how Black teachers were received at the time that the case was put into law. And this, of course, has had effects that have lasted up until this present day in education for Black teachers. Another study that I've come across is that cultural relevance and anti-racism is a concept that needs to be addressed more in teachers of all races. Black teachers and teachers of color need this education as much as teachers who are not teachers of color need it, as the ideals of white supremacy can be carried out no matter what race you are. Another research finding that I've come across, and this is something that I will use to put a more narrow focus on my research, is a definition for healthy racial identity, and that is a strong and positive identification with being Black combined with racial consciousness of the historical, social, and cultural context of being Black in the United States, including a critical consciousness about race and racism. My specific research question is: what methods are Black teachers using to create a classroom environment that helps Black students develop a healthy racial identity? And my question specifically, I want to look at, as teachers are teaching, in those moments of making sure that students are getting what they need, what are teachers doing to, at the same time, help them develop who they are racially? Some key terms and concepts that are central to my research are racial identity, of course, classroom culture, cultural relevance, Black teachers, middle school students, specifically Black middle school students, middle school social development, and teaching techniques. My research setting is specifically the classroom, again, as I'm focusing on how in the middle of a math lesson, will a teacher, a Black teacher, help build up their students to then push them to creating this healthy racial identity. But I'm open to any classroom adjacent place, such as school social settings, such as recess, lunch, after school activities, etc. My plan research method, again, I'm doing secondary research, so I'm using Google Scholar, EBSCOhost, and ProQuest databases to find studies that have been done on this topic. Inclusion terms are Black teachers, Black students, racial identity, teaching techniques, classroom culture, middle school students, again, specifically Black middle school students, and I'm looking at studies that have been done in the United States. And as I've been doing my research with those, I've noticed that some studies have come across for teacher retention So these are my exclusion terms that I'm not looking for. Teachers of color, and specifically, I included this because I noticed that, again, some studies have brought this up, but currently I want to focus on Black teachers, high school and elementary students, and any studies that were done in countries outside of the US. And here I've listed the references that I've used in this presentation. Thank you.